If you were following along with me in the previous lesson, you learned how to customize your workspace. In other words, alter the workspace that you're currently viewing or create your own workspace and be able to flip between them. Now, the workspace involves using different menus and toolbars, even the toolbox and color palettes. Well, each of those individual components can also be customized. Maybe you look up at your standard toolbar where it says New, Open, Save, and Print, and you wish there was a Close button there as well, so you could just close things up, or maybe a Print Preview next to Print. Well, that would involve customizing the standard toolbar. We can do that. Maybe you're looking at the menus and you wish they showed up in a different order. You can do that as well. Or maybe there's a number of commands that you'd like to have easily accessible in your own toolbar. That is also possible, and these are the things we're going to do in this lesson. We're going to start by not even accessing your options window. We're going to do everything from what you see here in front of you. For example, if I wanted to make window the last menu heading on my menu bar, all I have to do is click and drag it to the other side of help while I'm holding down the Alt key. So I'll hold down my Alt key, click and drag, and when I see that little I bar appear after help, I let go, and I've just flip-flopped these two menu headings. If I didn't want the window menu there at all, I could hold down Alt and drag it down into my document area. See the X next to my pointer? That means if I let go of my mouse button, it's gone. So I no longer have a menu bar. I have Help, Tools, Table. There's no window. So I can customize my menu bar that way. I can also customize the toolbars. Maybe there's certain buttons I never use. For example, if I come up here to this guy and hover over it, it's my application launcher where I can access other applications in the suite like Photo Paint, for example. There's Quattro Pro and Presentations. There's Photo Paint down at the bottom. I never use that. I'll hold down my Alt key, click and drag it down, and let go. It's gone. Now, if you're following along with me, don't worry. I'm going to be showing you how to reset all of these bars in a moment. We can reset them back to the defaults. We can do further customizations by going up to Tools and down to Options. Here from Workspace, we'll click the plus sign next to Workspace, then click the plus sign to expand Customization, and here's where you're going to see command bars. Now, command bars mean menu bars, toolbars, the toolbox, anything where you have buttons is a command bar. So you can see the ones that are currently being viewed, the toolbox, property bar, standard, status bar, and the menu bar. Any of these can be customized, but we can also create our own. That's what we're going to do right now by clicking the New button. When I click the New button, you can see it appears down here and checked off. It's empty right over here. I'm going to move it out of the way in a moment. But right now we need to give it a name. I'm going to call this Dave's Tools. And these will be the tools that I use on a regular basis. When I hit return, it's locked in. And now all I have to do is start putting tools into it. So this little guy right here is empty. I'm going to grab some commands either from the existing toolbars, or I can come down here where it says command bars and click just below that on commands. Here I'm going to find all of the commands. You can see at the top here, file is selected. That represents my file menu or all of the file commands that will appear down below. If I click this drop down, I can also go to, for example, edit. Down below is view. What about layout? It must be there. Sure enough. Arrange. I'm going in the order that I see them up here. So all of these options appear up here. I'm going to leave it at file, and I'm going to put a close button right in there by clicking and dragging it. When I see the plus sign appear in the I bar on the inside, I let go, and now I've got a close button. Maybe save as is something I do on a regular basis too. Well, I'm going to want to drag that one. Now, as soon as I clicked on it, you see how it's kind of hidden now in behind. So all I have to do is move this out of the way. And if I wanted to, I can move this over here where it's a little more visible. And now I'll drag Save As in there. And how about Print Preview? Is that going to be on my File menu? Well, if I go down the list, just below Print, I find Print Preview. I'm going to put it right there. Now, of course, I can be putting these up here on my standard toolbar too if I want another copy up there. Print Preview is going up here next to my Print button. When I let go, it's available up there right now as well. So I can modify any of the toolbars by clicking and dragging commands, also add them to my own toolbar if I wanted to. So I've got my own toolbar available to me here floating right now. If I want it docked, just click and drag upwards. You can see when it turns into double lines, it's right below my property bar right now. When I let go, it's now docked in there. It's got its own little buttons, so you can see the little dots there allow me to click and drag with the four-sided arrow to float it. And I can close it when I don't need it. When I go back to command bars here, it's still there. I haven't deleted it, I just turned it off. It's not visible. I can get it back just by clicking in the checkbox. If I don't want this anymore, I can click on it, and with Dave's tool selected, click Delete. There we go. Now, I also told you that I would show you how to reset all of your command bars. Well, let's click on Menu Bar because we did make some changes. I removed the window heading. Well, with it selected down below, I can't delete it. It's one of the standard ones, but I can reset. When I click the Reset button, I need to confirm that I want to do that. I'll click Yes. My window menu is back. How about the standard toolbar? Well, we added some buttons there. If I reset this one and confirm by clicking Yes, my print preview is gone. Easy as that. Property bar, toolbox, all of these command bars can be modified. The other thing you can do is change their appearance as well. Maybe you're having some difficulty understanding what these buttons mean. We can hover over them to see a quick tooltip, but if you'd rather see it at first glance, you have some options over here. First of all, you can make the buttons bigger. By default, they're small. If I come down here and choose large, look what happens. These buttons are huge. And why? Why these buttons only? Because standard toolbar was selected. Let's switch it back to medium. See if that works. Well, they're bigger. They all fit. That might be a good size for me in my eyesight. I'm going to switch it back to small. Another option is to include some text in there. Right now we're just seeing the default, which is buttons all by themselves. If I click the button appearance drop down, I can have a caption below the image, just a caption, which would be text, caption to the right of the image that we see there, the default, or just the image only. So let's try caption below image. It's going to make the buttons bigger, obviously. So now the new button has the word new under it. Open has open under it. This is a great way if you're brand new to CorelDRAW X4 to get familiar with the different buttons on your toolbars. Once you get comfortable with them and you recognize the icons, you can always switch this back to the default or even image only. And that's exactly what you're going to see, the default buttons. That can be done for your toolbox, your property bar, and any other of the command bars that you see here on this list. So I'm going to click OK. Everything's been reset, and I'm ready to move on. The last thing we're going to talk about in this chapter that you can customize is your color palettes. We'll do that next.